Ah, nice. Hello. Hey there. I um haven't got much sleep. I was up all night at the Houdini mansion drinking champagne and running around on the grounds with rabbits. But now we are here at Facebook LA answering all of your questions. So, hello. Oh, hi. Thanks for joining. Um Facebook the lovely people at Facebook have given me some questions to kind of kick it off. So we can start here. What was the inspiration behind the album title? Um, well, in my neighborhood, uh, when I first started working on the record, whenever I go to the studio, there are all these beautiful murals of this um, Lady of Guadalupe painted on the walls and taco trucks, and and so that image kind of stuck in my mind when I was making this album, and and then I found this painting called the Blue Madonna, and then that just kind of tied the album together very nicely. The spirit of this painting. So that was the inspiration behind the album title. Can you talk about some of the sounds slash instruments that influenced the new album, in particular the live strings and theremins featured on some of the tracks? Yes, there is a theremin on the album. And for those of you that don't know what a theremin is, it's one of my favorite instruments, and it's kind of the uh, it's it's almost like the birth of electronic music from the theremin. It was an instrument created in the 1920s, and it was made to replicate a human voice. So it sounds eerily like a human voice when it's played. But so it might actually sound like I'm singing some of those parts, but it's not. It's not me. It's like a supernatural sounding thing, which is played by Armin Ra, who's one of the best theremin players in the world. And the strings were all arranged by this gentleman named Steve Weisberg. He's an amazing string arranger. So it was a pleasure to work with him on the album. And yeah. What was it like to collaborate with Lana Del Rey? I've been a big fan of Lana's music ever since Born to Die, and just her whole concept, both visual and poetically, and her voice is very beautiful and one of a kind. So uh, it was wonderful to get into the studio together and to hear her voice through speakers on one of my songs is kind of crazy. In a studio, it's like um, kind of a dream come true. And she's a very, very, very talented singer and songwriter. Like she can just do it without writing anything down. It's pretty amazing. So
We got some questions for you.
oh, great. We have the golden iPad. All right.
Just to answer.
Oh, hit answer?
Once you've answered it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Um, Morgan Spence asked, is there songs from Blue Madonna you're excited to play live? Yes. All of them. Yeah, I'm very excited to play them live. I'm excited to play Supernatural live, and also Man is very fun because they have very complicated drum beats, and my drummer Kristen is just going crazy. So, yeah. So yes, Morgan, very excited to play the album live. What song is my favorite on the album? From Maddie. What song is my favorite? I really like Blue Madonna, to be honest. That's probably one of my favorites. And yeah, because it's not really a normal song structure. I kind of like how it's a little disjointed. So yes. Um, who is your favorite author? Um, I'm a big fan of Tom Robbins, um, and his imaginative worlds that he creates. Also, uh, oh, who else? Um, I'm going blank right now. Let's just stick with Tom Robbins for now. Look him up. He's got a lot of great stuff. So, um, I watched the movie House that you said inspired you for a Faded Heart video. How did you come across this movie, and what did you think of it? Um, it was this past Halloween, or no, 2 Halloweens ago, and I wanted to watch a horror movie in a different language, and so I just was researching horror movies, foreign horror movies, and House came up, and the images were just so scary and beautiful and adorable. So if you haven't watched House, it came out in 1977. It's a Japanese horror film. It's really beautiful. So yeah. Um, are you excited to come back to Michigan to perform for your hometown babes? We're excited to see you. Um, Absolutely, I'm excited to come back to see all my hometown babes. Um, I love Michigan very much. It's very near and dear to my heart. So, um, yes, very excited. Um, who are your biggest influences, both musically and in your fashion slash aesthetic? Um, Influences musically. I would say Roy Orbison for this record. Harry Nilsson, the Beach Boys, George Harrison. Um, I love Elton John's aesthetic, his sequence bodysuits, and the way he plays piano. Um, and Prince as well. He has some amazing costumes that look like they just were only made for him. So, yeah, good fashion, those guys. Answered that. And will you be my prom date? Sure. How is your album different? How is this album different from your first one? Um, I think there's different songs on it. It has a different title. Sorry. Um, I don't know. It's different subject matter, I guess. I was just in a different headspace writing it, and I was reading a lot of these old sci-fi magazines, so a lot of that kind of mood and a lot of celestial themes made it into the songs. So thanks to old sci-fi mags. All right. How did you feel that Chuck captured your image that was different than others for this album cover? Chuck is an amazing photographer. I collaborated with her, Chuck Grant, um, on this album, and she shot all of the photos for the album packaging, and she has such an amazing eye, and we collaborate on a lot of things, and she shoots on film, so I think that's such a hard medium to really capture things, because you only kind of get one shot, and she shoots on Super 8 too, and she just is such an amazing eye and such a creative soul. So she's a great energy to be around. So I'm very happy she did all the album artwork. What's your favorite Beach Boys song? Ooh, I just wasn't made for these times. I guess I just wasn't made for these times. That one. Um, What song took the longest to record, was the most difficult to produce? Ooh. Um, which one? There was a few that were kind of doozies. Um, Man, I think Man kind of went through a few different permutations. The chorus changed a few times on Man. Um, and So that one, yeah, that was an interesting one. Um, and I'm trying to think. Uh, and also Supernatural was just an instrumental for a very long time. It didn't have any lyrics to it, but one day the words were just kind of fell into place. So yeah, there's a few of them that kind of took a little while. Um, how do you start the process of writing a song? Um, I I don't really think about it as just being in the studio and sitting in front of an instrument and playing something or just singing the first thing off the top of my head. I'm always kind of keeping my peripherals open for things that could go nicely into a song, like just phrases or titles or something I'm reading or movies. So I guess I'm always kind of trying to take notes. So then once it comes time to go into the studio, um, I can have something to play off of. So I'm kind of always writing songs in the back of my head. Um, how do you make all your songs sound so different but so beautiful? Um, that's very kind of you, Megan Clark. Um, I don't know. I think I have a very short attention span, so I think that's why they always all sound different. But I'm glad you think they're beautiful. Um, do you know Spanish? Not very well. I did not do well with Spanish in high school, but um, poquito. Yeah, but I've learned more Spanish than I could have learned in high school, just living in the neighborhood that I live in. So, um, but I love the language. It's very beautiful. Um, do you think dogs have hobbies? Um, I don't really consider myself a dog person. Well, I like dogs. I grew up with dogs, but I'm not really a dog aficionado. Aficionado. Um, but I'm sure that they have leisure times, pastimes. I mean, all dogs kind of have similar, you know, leisure activities, right? They like to chase things, they'll jump on you. They're always excited to see you. You know what you're getting into with a dog. Um, but cats, on the other hand, we could talk about cats for a while. Um, in what order did you write the songs for Blue Madonna? Sort of, kind of in the order that they're in some weird way. I've never really thought about it like that, but they kind of go in chronological order. Actually, no, I lied because Tension I had for a while. That was just a song idea I never did anything with, and then found it once I was putting the album together. And but when I was first working on the album, God Save Our Young Blood was one of the first songs I wrote for it. Um, so yeah. Uh, answer.
So maybe
Okay.
one or two more.
Okay, cool. Um, oh, I love the films slash videos that you've made with Pipus the Wise. How'd you guys meet? Sending love from the UK. Hey, what's up, UK? Pipus is a great friend of mine and amazing collaborator. He's one of my favorite videographers uh, of the day, and we have a lot of fun making videos. I met him on Instagram, of all places. I was touring through um, I was touring through Philly, and we met up and made a video before sound check, and then just kind of hit it off. So, um, yeah, Pipus is amazing. Watch all of his videos. He's incredible. Um, Let me see. Out of all the new instruments that you implemented on the album, which one do you think affected your overall sound the most? This album was a lot more based on piano. Um, and I have this 70s piano called a Wurlitzer, and it's kind of short scale, but it sounds really beautiful and like this really soft kind of electric piano sound. And that made it onto a few of the songs, and I wrote a lot and figured out chord changes on that um, at my place in the morning when the sun was rising. So I kind of that sound always just reminds me of waking up. So I think the Wurlitzer, and and I think that's all the time we have. But thank you for your questions. I appreciate it, and thank you for listening. Um, I'm very excited to have this new album out for all of you to listen to, and I really hope you're enjoying it. And I will see you all out in the real world, outside of this virtual world that we're in. But thanks for tuning in. So much love.